Everyone, and welcome to the next installment of my build of Hobby Boss's 1/35th scale Panzer I Ausf in the Spanish Civil War colours. Now, in this video, we're going to look at lots of photo etch miniature madness, and we're also going to be doing some scratch building and adding in of detail. So, if that's something that's of interest to you, then pull up a chair and let's go do some modelling. So first off, we just finished off the lower hull, adding on the bogies. As you can see, there's a couple of bad injector marks there that need your attention, just filling and sanding. But once that was done, it was a matter of returning to the upper hull, adding on the window hatches and covers. As you can see, there is the hose that we did in the last video. Now the side part is a little bit clamped here, so we're going to be adding on the long lever there with the photo etch end. That was all added in place. At this point, I made the decision to leave all of the tools off except for this one because the painting would be a nightmare with all the tools on. Now this is the radio antenna holder. Not many people realize, but this is actually made of wood. So what you need to do is to create a wood effect on the plastic part. So very carefully get yourself a sharp scalpel and then gently score the plastic part using short and long streaks, and that will create a nice wood effect when painted up. And that was added on the side there, as you can see. The chain hooks come from Voyager. This one just about fitted in place. Now, as for those of you who follow my work, you'll know that I do my weld seams using solder wire, and we'll go into more detail on this later in the video. There's a couple of lovely little hooks that are synonymous with the Panzer I. So using the photo etch parts and some styrene rod, these were added to the front of the tank. Very fiddly, but well worth doing. As you can see, they are really nicely done. As for the lights, there's many ways you can do your lights. This particular build, I decided just to silver the inside and add on the Perspex covers that came with the kit. There's a lot of research photos showing tow ropes on the Panzer ones in Spain. So my always go-to place is Eureka for my tow cables. Do some lovely resin handles with the tow cables. Not quite sure how I'm going to put this one on at the moment, but that just gives you an idea of what it looks like and the area in which we're going to be putting it. Now on the back we have the jackwoods. Now the plastic part is one solid piece, whereas in reality they are three separate woods. So we're just going to grab ourselves some square styrene rod and cut this into three using the little modular saw. As you can see, mine's quite well used. I'm a bit tight on the blades. So until they're completely broken, I shall carry on using them. And what we need to do is to get three roughly of equal length. Don't want everything to be too symmetrical, so we want to sort of make them fairly realistic. Then getting the photo etch base from Voyager, we just add them in just to make sure that they do fit in nicely. And then once that's done, we need to start the process of trying to change the bits of plastic and try and make them look like wood. So we're going to sand off all of the rough edges and give them a nice rounded effect, like they would be in real life because they've been constantly used. And then as before with the radio antenna holder, we're going to add on some wood effects. Again, be very careful with your scalpel. And just put the score lines down the sides, and also don't forget the ends as well. Once that's done, just glue them all together. And then what we need to do is just to add on some detailing. So if we compare this to the size of the kit part, as you can see, this is all heading in the right direction. And the similarities are a good one. Now, the Voyager kit provides the photo etch banding, as well as the base and the handle at the top. So what we need to do is just to get some CA glue and glue that onto each side Then we added on the handle, and then we glued that to the base as well. So that's one whole section that can then be cleaned up and added onto the back of the Panzer, as you can see here. Also, there's a lovely little photo etch spring and clasp at the top. I added on the light holder and bracket just as a guide so that I could fit it all into place. And I was really pleased with how that turned out. And there's a nice close-up of what it will actually look like. Now, as far as the rear vents, I've decided to go for the coverings because most of the research photos showed the Panzers with them on. As you can see, there are a couple of vents that need to be added. And this is simply done with some plasticard strip and cut to size and added in with the glue. And a nice little bit of detail. And also the rear engine cover, again, needed another section of plasticard added just to create some more detail and make it more realistic. Now, as far as the rear exhaust covers go, if you don't have a rubber mat, just get some tissues, get yourself a tool, and then press down very hard on the photo etch part, and this way you can create that bend that you need on the actual covers themselves. Make sure it's symmetrical, make sure it's nice and tight and not kinked. Pressing down gently all the way around, and then it's just a matter of bending in the feet, and you've got a couple of lovely covers ready for painting. So let's have a quick look around. As you can see, the brackets, they have 0.5mm pewter rivets added. As far as the fenders go, pretty much all the research photos show that each end of the fenders are missing. So I've just made some plasticard strip with holes in to represent the hinges there. Lots of detailing with the eyes, the toe chain handles as well. The actual weld seams there, that was actually on the plastic part, so well done there, Hobby Boss. Added in some handles. Coming around to the front, we added in the lamps. And as you can see, the welds have been finished off, which we'll go into more detail in a moment. And we've put some clamps on the tools as well. So all heading in the right direction, and a lot of fun to do all of this lovely detailing. Now on the front, we have some hinges. This is probably one of the smallest parts of photo etch I've ever had to deal with. Come in 3 sections. Amazing, I didn't lose any of this to the carpet monster. And then it was just a matter of very carefully adding them on. 4 sets to be done altogether. Did it over a couple of days because they really are a pain in the backside to do, but once on, very effective. Here we have the tools. Completely ignore the jack on the left hand side. That was a complete mess up with the wire cutters. That's all been changed and redone. Now we turn our attention to the turret. Now the Arbor machine guns, they were awesome. Beautiful detail, really pleased with how they all went together. There was a little bit of a bracket on top that needs to be done, which was a bit of a pain, but other than that, they just went together beautifully and they really do look the part. And there's that little bracket I mentioned. All you got to do is make sure that they're symmetrical and even, and both obviously at the same length. Now, there's a little bit of detailing needs to be done on the turret, most notably the weld seams. So let's go into a little bit more detail. There is a how to do video on my channel, which goes into more depth, but as you can see, they're quite chunky weld seams on the turret. So what you need to do is to just go and get your scribe. And now this is very difficult on camera, but what you need to do is just gently create your straight line down. And then once you've got that started, you can then add on a bit more pressure and then really start to gouge out a channel, because this is where the solder wire is going to sit. And then once that's done, just clean off the edges gently with the sanding stick. And we've got 3 channels to do on each side. We're going to be using 0.3mm solder wire, and also the CA glue, and just a matter of them gluing the welds on, and then using fingernails, your tweezers, whatever tool you want to create whatever type of weld seam you need. But really pleased with how they were now looking. We also had to add on some chain hooks as well. Again, very small, come in 2 parts, and there was 3 sets to be done all the way around. Just be careful you put them up the right way. Now, there is a weld seam that goes all the way around the top of the turret, and there was no way I was going to score that out because it would have looked a mess. So another way of creating weld seams is just to go around again with your sharp knife, create little indentations, and then get some Tamiya thin and just gently go all the way around it, taking off all the rough edges, and that creates a lovely weld seam once painted up. So there we go, that's the detailing on the turret done. There was a little hatch handle that was added on top, but really pleased with how that had all now turned out, and looking forward to seeing that one painted up. So there we go, everyone. Everything's now done. Had a lot of fun detailing this kit up. All ready now for painting. So that just leaves me to say many thanks indeed to all of my subscribers, old and new, for your continued support and your comments. It really does mean a lot to me. And in the meantime, happy modelling, everyone.